Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, topic here we will discuss today it is the electropositive character. Basically, the electropositive character, the word denoting the positive. It means there may be the positive charge on any metal. Now, how do it have the positive charge? Basically, this is the property of the metals that they have tendency to lose their valence electrons, and this property of metal is termed as their electropositivity, or this is also termed as their metallic character. A lot of metals we have that they can lose the electrons from their valence shell easily. Now, what does mean by this valence shell? So here, when we talk about the sodium metal, its atomic number is 11 and its electronic configuration here we have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. So the shell number 1, this is its second shell L and this is its third shell M. Now the third and the last one shell, this is known as its valence shell. It is also known as the outermost shell. Now this valence shell contain one electron. So by drawing the structure or the electron dot cross structure like this. This is the first shell, second and the third shell of the sodium. The sodium contains 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second, and 1 electron in the last one shell. So this 1 electron that is present in the valence shell of the sodium, it can lose that electron, and by losing it will form the cation, and that cation is the formation of the by the loss of electrons, and this is known as the electropositive character or the metallic character of the metals. Now the metallic character, how do it increase and how do it decreases? When we talk about this metallic character, if any metal, it can lose the electrons more easily, then it will be more metallic. On the other hand, when we talk about the metals that do not lose the electrons easily, and they are called as less electropositive in nature. So this was the simple electropositive character that is related to the metals. Now we have a lot of examples. So first one is the sodium. When we talk about the sodium, it belongs to group 1a. It contains one electron in its valence shell. As I have already write its electronic configuration, that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. And after the loss of this electron from its valence shell, it changes into the positively charged cation. And now this cation is having positive 1 charge because it just lose one electron. And now its electronic configuration becomes 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So this is the electronic configuration of the sodium cation, and this is the electronic configuration of the sodium atom, and this is its lost electron. Now sodium is called to be electropositive because it can lose the electron easily, and the valency of sodium metal is also 1 because it has one electron in the valence shell. The second example we have, it is the zinc. Basically zinc contain two electrons in its outermost shell or in its valence shell, and it can lose these electrons easily. When the zinc loses two electrons, it carries a charge positive 2, and this is the two electrons lost. As the zinc has lose two electrons, so it will be more electropositive as compared to the sodium. So we can also write is like this: zinc is more electropositive as compared to the sodium because it loses two electrons and sodium just loses one electron from its valence shell. So the valency of the zinc here we can write as 2 because it loses two electrons. Now we have the trend of electropositivity in the periodic table. that what is the trend of electropositivity along group and period. Basically, when we move from left to right in the period, we just have lithium, and after that we have beryllium, then boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. So after the lithium metal and beryllium, there is a start of non-metals. So these are the metals and these are the non-metals. Now after the metals, there is a start of non-metals. So the electropositive character will decreases because the non-metals will not lose electrons. In turn, they can gain the electrons to get a charge which is the negative charge and to get the stability. So from left to right when we move in the periodic table, the electropositive character decreases. On the other hand, when we talk about in the group, and the groups are from top to bottom, after the lithium we have sodium, then we have potassium, rubidium, and cesium. So this is the group 1A, which is called as the alkali metals. In alkali metals, when we move from top to bottom, the electropositive character increases. Now, what is the reason behind this? Because when we draw the structure of the lithium here, it contains total 3 electrons. First shell, 2 electrons, and in the last shell, it contains 1 electron. After this, we have sodium. Sodium has 2 electrons in its first shell, and in the second shell, it contains 2 electrons. And in the last one shell, the sodium contain 1 electron. And after this, we have potassium. Potassium, it contains 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and in the third shell, it contains again 8 electrons, and in the last shell, it contains 1 electron. So when we move from top to bottom, you can see that the size of an atom increases, or we can say that the atomic size increases. So this is the lithium. It has 2 shells. Sodium has 3 shells and potassium has 4 shells. So number of shells are increasing. This is the central nucleus. Now the central nucleus, and this is the outermost shell. Nucleus and the outermost shell, nucleus and the outermost shell. You can easily see that when we move from top to bottom, the distance between nucleus and the valence shell is increases as the atomic size increases. So the atom can lose the electrons more easily because it is having less force of attraction towards the nucleus. So when we move from top to bottom, the electropositive character increases. So this is a simple thing because the size of an atom increases down the group. So this was all about today's lecture. I hope you guys understand. And if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we will discuss, it is the relationship between ionization energy and the electropositivity. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.